everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? Grab your coffee. I've got seltzer, maybe a snack, and let's get into it. So, the many things that we could talk about and complain about, but we won't go there, will we? No. So, several years ago, remember 45? Yeah. The mean tweets, him, yeah. He warned that something was coming. It's a brewing, right? And now the UN and the World Food Program Executive Director, David Beasley, is saying it has arrived. A perfect storm on top of a perfect storm. All right. Well, I talked about this the other day, but I wanted to get more in depth with it. Okay. And he also said it has reached our doorstep. Oh, dear me. I hope it wipes its feet. I'm kidding. But, because the Nord Stream, 1 and 2, from Russia to Europe have ruptured, or did they? So, and they've both become non-operational, all right? Energy prices are through the roof. Fertilizer is too expensive for farmers to obtain. And if they can even find any fertilizer, right? The global economy, as we currently know it, is on its last leg. And Beasley wants the billionaire class, them, the elitist, along with certain wealthy Gulf nations, not golf, not putt, but Gulf, Gulf, to contribute anything they can to prevent widespread food shortages next year. But see, Mr. Beasley, it's all planned, my man. They want to starve us out, dude. Okay? So, he said, otherwise, there's going to be chaos all over the world. I can just imagine him going like that. So, 5.5 years ago, when Beasley was installed to his current position, only 80 million people around the world were headed towards starvation. Only 80 million. There's not one single person that should be starving right now. Not one. But that's just my opinion. And then that number ballooned to 135 million. And then it doubled from there to 276 million as a result of the pandemic. Now today, as many as 345 million people, more than the total population of the United States, face starvation following the invasion. Within that are 50 million people in 45 countries knocking on famine's door. You remember the video I did with the thumbnail, knock, knock, knocking on famine's door? Okay. If we don't reach these people, he said, you will have famine, starvation, destabilization of nations unlike anything we saw in 2007, 2008, and 2011. And you will have mass migration. We've got to respond now. Now, according to the UN General Assembly, President Csaba, C-S-A-B-A, Korosi, K-O-R-O-S-I. The world now lives, it seems, in a permanent state of humanitarian emergency. conflicts and humanitarian crises, added UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, are now so great that the funding gap for humanitarian appeals is the highest it has ever been at $32 billion. The war in Ukraine amplified the crises by shutting down grain shipments from Ukraine, a nation that is said to produce enough food to feed 400 million people. And if you remember, the Ukraine is actually considered the breadbasket of the world. And Russia is also the world's second largest exporter of fertilizer and is also a major food producer, just like the Ukraine. So, if these two nations are not exporting as normal, then millions of people will starve. Then we'll have the inflation situation, which is pricing out many formerly middle-class families that can no longer make ends meet. And I know a lot of these people. And a lot of these people are you. Because you've come to me and you've told me. Heck, a lot of you have given me your budgets and said, show me where I can buy more preps. Please tell me. This is what I make every month and this is what my monthly bills are. Please help me. And I have. Now, people who are less fortunate, shall I say it that way, people who are much poorer, okay, were especially hit hard by the lockdowns, which just economically devastated them. And that is according to this Beasley. With the fertilizer crisis we are now facing right now, with also the droughts, we're facing food pricing problems in 2022. This created havoc around the world. If we don't get on top of this quickly, okay? And I don't mean by next year. I mean right now, this year, right now, today. You will have a food availability problem in 2023. And that's going to be hell. Hell on earth. This is what awaits us in 2023. I don't even think a miracle will help us. And that is my words. Even if the interventions called for by Beasley are materialized, it's still not going to be enough to contain what is shaping up to be the four horsemen of the apocalypse riding with abandon. We've got to get those fertilizers moving. We've got to get it moving quickly. Asian rice production is at a critical state right now. Seeds are in the ground. More than 70% of the population in Africa is fed by 33 million small family farms that desperately need this fertilizer to reach harvest. And you know what the UN said? We're several $billion short of what we need for the fertilizers. Are you? Shame, shame, know your name. You've been pulling money out of your arses for other things. Let's get going. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I love you. I'll see you in the next one, okay? You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fearless.